It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me, but white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa.
Yeah, whether they're white or not doesn't matter to him when identifying a genocide, except that it obviously does, because he is willing to talk about an imaginary genocide in South Africa and refuses to apply that word to what's actually happening in Palestine, where tens of thousands of people have been murdered by the IDF. So that is Donald Trump just taking the conspiracy theory that Elon Musk primarily, but plenty of right-wingers have fed to him, and he regurgitates it. And he's doing it in part to sort of provide a foundation for his change to the refugee program, where basically the only refugees in the entire world that will be allowed in are white South Africans. It is a race-targeted refugee system. That's what they're going to do. And so the Trump's ambassador nominee for South Africa is going to be grilled, because we know what Donald Trump's relationship with South Africa and his attachment to the truth is. So this guy is Brent Bozell, and take a look at some of the video of him being questioned.
Do you support having a refugee admissions policy in this country that only admits white refugees?
Senator, I don't make that policy.
Why can't you give me your personal view on that?
Because, Senator, I am here to serve America and to do what the president is asking me to do. I'll be following the executive order of February.
Would you support reinstituting laws in this country to only allow white people to vote?
Senator, I'm going to serve as ambassador to South Africa, and I'm going to focus on that.
Now, it would seem that it would be pretty easy to answer that question. Brent Bozell, who on face alone should not be the ambassador to literally anything, let alone his views, whiffed it. So he's gonna get a second chance. Do you think it would be legal to block black people from voting? Seems easy. Let's see how he handles this one.
You will not share your personal views on whether it is right or wrong to reinstitute discriminatory policies in this country to prevent black people from voting?
Senator, my personal views are irrelevant. I am serving here to do what the president is asking me to do in South Africa.
Well, that's just simply not true. We wouldn't have this process if your personal views were not relevant. That is pretty stunning that you will not share your views not only on whether we should have a refugee admissions process that is race-based, but you won't share your personal views on whether we should reimpose discriminatory treatment against black Americans. That is absolutely relevant to your qualifications to serve.
So good follow-up questions. The only thing I would have done to get it a little bit better on the record is when he says, it's not my personal view, I'm just gonna do whatever Donald Trump says to do. So the follow-up question is, so if Donald Trump tells you to only accept white refugees, you will do that? He has to say yes. I mean, he already effectively has. We just want him on the record specifically on that. And then that should be all you need to vote against him. Unfortunately, our government is absolute crap, JR. So I have no doubt he will get that position unless, a private chat is leaked or something, which he definitely has those private chats out there in the world. Somebody send them to Ken Klippenstein. But JR, what do you think about this?
And that's not even a guarantee anymore. We saw the way that they reacted to those kids in the Young Republicans. They were doing the same thing.
34-year-old kids.
Do you remember when they were getting rid of Voting Rights Act and they said the reasons that we're getting rid of it is because it's unnecessary. There's no more racism and bias in our election processes. So why have it anymore? As at the same time, this guy that's supposed to be in this position is literally saying, I have no opinion on whether or not black folks should be able to vote or any other minorities that the president tells me to. He literally said, my job is not to do anything except for what the president tells me to do. Well, at the same time, we're supposed to not believe that this guy is acting like some kind of authoritarian figure, a king, be it. So they're promoting king behavior while then saying that that's not what it is that they're doing. That first moment when he's talking about the South Africans and genocide is going on from black farmers that are destroying them, that was supposed to be like some kind of fade into history of stupidity from this administration. But there's always a plan behind it. There's always something that they say from the very moment this guy got in office, because it's all written down in their entire plan to take over this country. That was a moment where they said, "Oh, people forgot about that." Here's Brent Bozell's ass to show up and be this next guy. It's everything that they say, as stupid as it is and as unconstitutional as it is a part of the plan. It's a white supremacist agenda and it's a white supremacist movement, and it's backed by this Trump presidency, who's always been a white supremacist. They've been denying it, but they've been literally carrying out that agenda since, I guess, he was born. It's who he is.
Look, as we've said many times, this administration and most Republican administrations, but this more than most, is there to take money from poor and middle class Americans, give it to the rich, and the cover for that, identity politics. Generally white, identity politics. That's what it is. And Brent Bozell, I mean, is he not the craziest looking MFer? Like if he got on an elevator that you were on, you would step off of that elevator. You would step into an elevator shaft to get off of an elevator with Brent Bozell. And also, our producer Mike in the block says he looks like if the Lorax was evil, which is definitely true. But also, well, that's a great first swing. I just hope John Oliver talks about Brent Bozell this Sunday so they can hit him like 10 more times, because I think he can do great stuff with that.